Hey guys, Aaron Schober and Josh Lucas once again coming at you with part 2 of our Zwerchhau technique series. Part 2, yes. Part 2. But we are going to cover some slices and a throw with their respective counters today. So like I said in the last video, there's a ton of information on the Zwerchhau in the 3 manuscripts that we use. So don't think that we're doing an exhaustive study of it today. So, first of all, once again, like setting up as we did last time, this is going to be useful against multiple Zwerchs. This is as if I'm attacking Josh with a Zwerchhau and coming around with another one, another option he has is actually to slice hard against my arms and press in there as hard as he can, and that is going to forestall and stop my ability to Zwerch him. Once again, this is very fast because as we know, we can throw multiple Zwerchs very, very quickly. But the advantage he has is that he doesn't even have to cut around. He's already in the position he needs to be in to slice. He just needs to pivot or rotate his arms around to get it. So once again, I'm going to come right in there and slice up into that. The way that I can counter this is as I'm feeling that pressure against my hands, once again, he's pushing in strong, hard pressure, I can actually duplier him. So I'm going to pull my arms away from his sword and actually strike him in the head. So as he comes in here, I feel that pressure on my arm, I'm about to get sliced. I can actually pull my arms away and cut against his head. It relieves some of the pressure off of that slice. I'm yielding to his pressure, so it's matching up with our understandings of the martial philosophy of the early Knauer. And it's hitting them at the same time, so all in all, it's a pretty good technique. Once again, it's very fast though. So if my arms are being sliced and pushed, I don't have time to stop and think about it. Another thing we can do to do a slice is actually a slice from the Zwerchhau to your opponent's neck. So to set up this, I'm just going to have Josh attack me with an Oberhau. I'm going to block with the Zwerchhau. I've got the strong of my sword and the weak of his sword, so I'm in control of this bind. I can move his sword as I need to. So the first thing it says I can do is I can actually push his sword down and slice behind his arms to the front of his neck. And so this is how I'm envisioning that. So I'm using the short edge. I'm just using the easiest edge I can get. I'm behind his arms and in front of his neck. So once again, he's coming in here. I've got control of the bind. I can step in, and he can't hold against that. He can't hold against with his sword. The other way I can set up a slice is actually to go around to the other side of his neck and set up a throw. So once again, we're ending up in a position where I've got control of this bind. I can put my sword, my short edge against his neck. So I attacked with my short edge. It does mention to have the short edge against his neck, so I'm going to turn my sword, and I can step in and throw him backwards over my foot. It does say to put your right foot behind his left foot, so that's why I'm coming in with 2 steps, because the way he's set up, he has his right foot forward, so I'm closing in a lot of distance in this case. There's obviously a lot of different ways this could be interpreted, but once again, the way we're showing. And obviously I can come in with a lot of force there and blow him over. Especially if he's not ready for you to close in to wrestle, this is very good. It also has the benefit of having the sword against his neck, which is distracting.
Hey, they're not lightsabers.
They're not lightsabers, you can have that. But fear not. There are counters that you can do to this as well. So let's say I've got my sword against Josh's neck, so we'll do the same thing. I'm coming over here, I'm setting up the slice, I'm calling it a slice to the neck, but really I'm placing it there to set up the throw. If Josh is quick, he can actually push my sword across with his pommel and hilt and set up a schnappen, or a snapping motion, to my head. So moving his hilt across and his pommel up is going to take the sword off of his neck, and then that's going to allow him to lever his sword over and cut me at the same time he defends himself. From the same setting and the same beginning of his defense, as he pushes his hilt up, he could step in front of my legs, wrap up my arm with his left arm, and then he's got me in control here. He can stab me, he can make me dance, he can pull me along. I'm pretty much going wherever he wants me to go here. I'm in a very, very bad situation. I could potentially try to counter wrestle him, but I'm very weak at that point. The other option for this, there's a lot of counters to this. So doesn't mean it's a bad move. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, but there's a lot of ways to counter it. The other one he can do is actually leave the sword against his neck, which seems iffy to me, but it's in the manuals. So since we're interpreting the manuals, we're going to stick with that, as opposed to trying to figure out why we're doing it.
Come up with our own stuff.
We're not in the business of coming up with our own stuff. Like, you can do that. Like, we'll stick with the manuals. So as we're coming in, I'm coming in for that slice. Another thing he can do is he can leave the sword there, because I'm not slicing his neck just now, but he can actually, with his right hand, cut over my sword to my head. And so this is described as a duplirin. He's kind of leaving, his left hand is free, he can grab his sword, but he's hitting me in the head. So generally a cut to the head is going to win if I'm just placing my sword against his neck. So once again, doing that again. Coming up like that. So